Welcome. We are today remembering Jesus and his death on the cross, his crucifixion there at Golgotha. And as painful as that is, and it is extremely painful for us, we are reminded of what he has done for us too. That he would lay down his life for each and every one of us. I hope that you find time this evening to come out to our 7 p.m. Good Friday service. We have our Easter sunrise service at 7 a.m. and then our regular service at 11 a.m. The sunrise service will be held in the park. The other two are in our Christian Life Center. As we look at Jesus' time, his last moments on earth, we see that there are so many who mocked him, who made him out to be some kind of fake king. You know, when we were kids, I don't know about you, but I remember going in a backyard, and there, as the clover would come up, you would take each of those clovers and you would tie them in a strand together until you could have a big enough circle that you could make a crown to place on your head. It was a fake crown, but it wasn't painful. It was meant to have little, gems and jewels in it. Or maybe you've seen the Burger King crowns that they used to have at the restaurant. But this is a completely different crown. This is a crown of thorns. This is a crown meant to deride Jesus. This is a crown meant to mock him and his lordship. It is the antithesis. It's the exact opposite of everything that he stood for. And yet, he did not come with a sense of regalness that we are used to. He did not come to vanquish with a sword. He did not come with that kind of brutal triumph to bring Pax Romana, the peace, to Rome and the empire beyond through violence. And yet violence found him. Violence was inevitable because they had tried every other way. This was all that was left. This was all they could do. This was all the power they thought they had. See, isn't it strange how people who are in positions of power feel threatened when true power, when true authority comes along the way? When power that convicts, when power that in its own right arrests, when the words that Jesus would speak to the scribes and the Pharisees to expose them as hypocrites, but also the moments when his disciples would deny him and betray him and run and scatter from him. Jesus is the King of kings and the Lord of lords. And they made a crown for him in jest. They cast lots for his garments, like it were some sort of carnival, and they got to take home a prize. They thought that this was some kind of show, and yet it was a day that they would remember for the rest of their lives. Mark's gospel says of the regalness, the curtain itself, the division in the temple, it was torn in two. The divide between you and me and God was broken down in that moment of death. A new connection, a new relationship was forged, as only the King of Kings could do. He sacrificed everything. He looked nothing like the kings that we have come to associate. And yet his power convicts. As he hung there on the cross, as he died for us, as he continues to die for us, so that we may live for him.